Hi everybody, welcome back to RoundSquare Retros, and my name is Doidle. Today we are checking out the original Simcity again. So I did one little tester episode before, when we made the infamous Doidletown with the even more infamous Doidletown fire, which lasted for many, many years. Let's see if we can find it. Well, for some reason or another I cannot find the city file, so I guess we're starting again. But you see, that's what the beauty of Doidletown was. That's what the beauty of the fire was. It taught us that no matter what happens, we can always just start over, and it will be glorious. Yeah, this map's okay, I guess. I'd kind of like to build over the river, but whatever. This is more just sort of an exploration than anything else. So, Doidletown 2.0. Wow. What a long way we've come. I can't go further that way. Okay. This can be our main area. Let's establish ourselves here. And fingers crossed, there isn't going to be a huge disaster. In fact, actually, let's just put an end to all that bad stuff. Doidletown is going to be a utopia, a place of healing, a place of fulfillment and enlightenment. Oh yes. I love it. I love it already. Everything about it is great. So, let's start off with we can build some nice apartments on the water side. That'll be quite nice. Pretty swanky, pretty swanky. And like I said in my previous playthrough of this abomination, I am a bit of a... Where should I put this? I'm a bit of an ecologist in SimCity, in that these lovely green tiles are so precious to me that I do not want to jeopardize them for much at all. So I'm going to do my best to try and minimize the impact. So I think I mentioned in the previous episode that for a while, when SimCity 4 Deluxe was the big thing in terms of SimCity, the actual Maxis website, they had like a computer port of this actually running on their website, and I played that thing to death. I absolutely loved it. It was a little stripped down from this, but it's essentially the same thing, just built for a slightly more modern audience, so that, you know, there's not 50 million windows and everything. Wait, why is it 1931 already? Did I really spend 31 years developing a road? Well, we've made it all the way through to 1934, and there has not been a devastating fire. I can only put this down to my godlike mayoral skills. Rather than being a mayor, perhaps I am better suited as some sort of Lord Emperor. Okay, so you've probably seen that I'm leaving gaps between zones and the road, so they're not being encompassed on all sides. I am doing this on purpose. This is so that we can put in a railway later on, when the traffic gets too bad. This is so awkward. How did we live pre-Windows 95? Right. There we go. Check that out. Oh, okay. And we made $259 this year. I call that a pretty successful year in terms of my fantastic mayoring. What can I say? Doodletown is the best town, and it always will be. There's just nothing else that can be said about it. So one thing I think is kind of annoying, but also pretty interesting as well, in a game this, I don't want to say aged, but this sort of old, is that when you do demolish things, the whole zone will go, which is a bit annoying if you haven't developed the land yet, like these residential zones, but it does leave behind debris, and if, say, for example, you have a fire or an explosion, it will eat away at these tiles, and I don't know, I just think that looks quite nice, and for whatever year this would have come out, I can't for the life of me remember, I think that's pretty immersive for, like, the NES and... Oh, actually, would it be NES or was it SNES that SimCity came out on? I don't know. Either way, we're just going to continue building the greatest town on Earth. I legitimately have no idea what I'm actually planning for this city. I am in... Whoa. Oh my gosh! I can just right-click to delete things. Left-click, right-click, left-click, right-click. Every day is a school day. So I'm thinking maybe the railway will sort of go along here, in this tile below, and just kind of like loop around there as, I don't know, maybe like a pseudo train station or something. I don't know. I have zero plan working with this. Don't know what I'm actually planning on doing. Oh, I suppose we'd better probably put down some services. Police station and fire station. One thing I find kind of interesting with this is that your options with regards to traffic management, transit, they're so poor in this game. I mean, as I was saying, you've got the road up here, and then you have the railway station. That's it. That's all you've got. And then, no matter what develops on any plot of land, you will almost always just see, like, a random amount of traffic coming through. And there's nothing that you can really do about that. Like, traffic accumulates pretty ridiculously fast in this game. Yes, now that we're a little bit established and we have a somewhat... Oh yeah, we've got a pretty stable source of income coming in. I guess we can talk about this in terms of its mechanics. And aside from the ridiculously overactive disasters that just come out of nowhere, and the limitations that you have in terms of the things you can build, I think for the year that this would have come out, 19... I think this is actually... It's pretty well developed, and I can honestly see why it did secure that sequel, which just cemented it, really. I think this sort of defines a genre before the genre was even really too heavily explored, if that makes sense. Yeah, obviously, especially by today's standards, it's very limited. I can't deny that. But for what it is, it's actually pretty good. And it's nice that you do have this organic growth. You've got different levels of density between buildings depending on the demand for them. You know, all of my residential zones are big apartment blocks now because the demand for them is so high. I think it's a very clever little thing for its time. And yeah, I can guarantee that if I had this game when I was young enough that I was learning to use the computer, I would have been all over this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I remember my granddad had a Windows 95 that he bought as a learning tool for me and my sister. And oh my goodness, did I spend a lot of my youth on that machine. A lot of it. and he didn't have internet access or anything. He still doesn't. He's never had internet access. But as a result, it just meant that, you know, me being sort of, I must have been maybe 9, 10 or so, I just explored everything on that computer. Absolutely everything. And I just found it so interesting. Unfortunately, such is not the case these days. I'm not quite so tech savvy as I was as a kid. We are a very environmentally conscious society for 1949. The war has not affected us. We are a neutral party, and I just placed a park inside a forest. National Park of Doydletown? That'll do. Yeah, that's cool. Right. I think it's almost time for us to start developing a railway system. And by almost, I mean let's do it right now. And I have to say, one of my favourite things about this game is like tiny little details. Just the fact they actually bothered to put in a little train which will follow the tracks. I think that's really cool. And so it really bugs me when I don't have a railway system which sort of is circular, if that makes sense. If it's not a complete circuit and it just sort of ends, that bugs the crap out of me. Okay, we need more houses. There's a grand house shortage in Doydletown. Up with this, we will not put. And then eventually the railway can go up along here and loop up. Yeah, that'll do. That will do. I'm happy with that. Oh, of course, power. You can't build things without no power. I have to say, this episode has taken a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought this was going to be like a quick 10-minute, let me show you what's in this game. So, thoughts on this game so far. I forgot how much I really enjoyed it. It's a very simple game. It's a game which I probably wouldn't play for very long, but as a game, it holds its own. This is a fully functioning game. For its time, I think it was pretty advanced. Let's just close this off with more residential, I think. That can be a nice little, the hub or something, the avenue, let's call it. Yeah, it's, I think it certainly holds its own. It certainly stands the test of time in terms of the fact that if you've played any other SimCity game, or if you have any knowledge of city building sims, then you'll be able to pick this up, and obviously, much like I did, once you get used to working around the sort of clunky MS-DOS interface, then yeah, this game is pretty nice. It's quite rewarding to see your little town actually develop. It's quite cool. Ah, that's nice. Nice little touch there. I like that. See, that's what I mean. Tiny little things that they bothered to put in this game. They're so simple, easily mockable in today's world, but yeah, I don't know. For 1990, I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm wondering if maybe we should develop an area, because I've just seen we have a stadium, and I think it would be pretty nice to have a stadium somewhere. I think that will really put Doydletown on the map, let's say. A lot of towns would demolish, like, their dockside industrial areas, but I think that's pretty imperative to the heart of what we are as a society, what Doydletown is all about, prosperous people. So I guess maybe we can develop a new area for it, for the stadium. Yeah, actually, that's pretty cool. We can have it like around here. This is sort of like an out-of-town kind of area. Obviously, we will have it hooked up to the railway system. And yeah, okay. Let's put it... let's put it right here. Right here. Oh no, I don't like that. Let's go 1 square higher. Then we can wrap around. I'm thinking of adhering to the graphical limitations of this game. And graphical limitations there most definitely are. There's all this crazy traffic suddenly going to the stadium. Why? Nobody lives there, nobody can visit it yet, it doesn't have power, but yeah, things like that. That's kind of where this game falls a bit short, but I'm sure there must be a reasoning for it, otherwise why would they bother programming that? It doesn't make sense otherwise. Our people have access to all kinds of sport-related entertainment. The sports of Doylestown, the Doylestown Dodgers, they're gonna bring home the cup, the trophy, the thing. They're going to do the sports and get the points. And I'm very proud of them already. I'm proud of all of you, my little Doydolians. In fact, how many... Is there a way I can find out how many people I have in my town? Let's see. Windows? Graphs I'm going to get. Oh, maybe valuation, actually. Is the mayor doing a good job? For... Oh, what? My approval rating is appalling. Oh, jeez. What are they... Ugh. Ugh. God. These whiny babies. So it's saying that residents demand a stadium. You got a stadium, it's right here. Like, this right here. Is it... Do they feel it's not quite so accessible as it should be? Or... I don't know. Well, these people don't get what they want. They get what I want. And if I want to have a stadium over there where no one can get to it, that's where the stadium's going to be. So they can suck it. Right, maybe let's try spreading out a little bit. I have to say, I'm enjoying this a lot more than the previous town. I mean, Doylestown has always existed. There's always been one and the same. The Doylestown fire? What was that? That never happened. We've never had a single accident in our town. Ooh, it's coming together, and it doesn't look too bad. See, okay, so with this, yeah, you've got your graphical limitations. It means it presents a new challenge for you that if you want to make a personalised town, you have to do more of that as through your own imagination. You have to work around the limitations of the game. So, using the natural forestry that's already here, making your own little neighbourhoods and networks of roads which don't necessarily serve too much purpose other than for decoration. There's nothing wrong with that. Your town... This town's actually functioning really well. I'm so surprised. This may be the most successful Doylestown to ever exist. For the time being. Oh jeez, this isn't what I wanted. Oh, seaport! Oh my gosh, yes, we could be a nice... Yeah, right there! That'd be so rad! That'd be rad as heck. Heckin' to the max. Okay, I've got to say, like, as much as I was shitting on this game before, I'm really enjoying this now. I think this is a really fun game. And again, let's see, this is what I mean. Once you get used to playing it, and how it all works, yeah, it's fun. I'm really enjoying this. And in fact, I don't know if this will maybe be... I mean, truth be told, this was originally just supposed to be one episode, and now I've done the second one because I was just so displeased with the previous one. And this time, I've been recording for 38 minutes so far, so I'm going to have a lot of chopping down for this one, whereas before it was just a straight, like, oh, it is 10 minutes of me not doing this very well and starting fires accidentally. But it makes me wonder if, is there going to be more episodes of this? Of the original game? That would be interesting to see, but, I I don't know if that's something I have planned. But I've got to say, I'm really enjoying it, as it is at the moment. Right, it may be. Our industrial zone is... Yeah, it's bigger than, like, the whole town. I need to bring more people over here. But I don't want them living in a shitty... Ah, crap! Oh no, Doydletown Bay! We can fix this. We have a pleasant park walk going around to the... leading you to the beach. Although, actually... Oh, no, I want to build that seaport. But how far do I have to build? Can I... Oh, it's the same as everything else, just 1 square out. 1 square out into the ocean, I can do. Okay, we're making a lot less money now. I'm getting a bit concerned. Perhaps maybe I could put another stadium here eventually. But it may be time to start weaning off the industrial over this area. In fact, let's just go straight for it. Let's put some condos down. And this one... Bye-bye, you can be a nice little office block. Bitches love offices. Okay, and there you have it. I'm pretty happy with how well we've established ourselves. It's July 1975. The 75 years of Doydletown's existence has been nothing but prosperous, as it always is. Let's just ignore the underdeveloped seaport area. Let's forget about that, and just look at how wonderful and green and thriving this city is. Actually, to be fair, in all seriousness, this is probably the biggest city I've ever actually made on this. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Whoops. I may come back to this. I may play this a little more in my free time and show you a much more developed city later on. But I think that's a good enough place to leave it. So thank you everybody so much for joining me on this very, very experimental episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments what you think of it and what I can do to make it better for you. Anyway, it's time for me to skedaddle, so I shall see you all next time. Have a great day, everyone.